Top of the afternoon, top of the afternoon. First and foremost, like I say in all my videos, I just want to thank the Most High God for knowledge, wisdom, and just understanding at a very high level every day as He wakes me up. I know the times is getting rough. Um, Everybody betraying everybody. Uh, Everybody is abusing everybody. Everybody is using everybody to get what they want out of them. But I just want to let people know, you know, only the strong gonna survive here in these end days, and only the weak shall perish, shall fall. So if you're a person, you're able to stand 10 toes down, no matter how people treat you, how people may go to use you, how people may, mentally and psychologically try to abuse you or use you. You know, if you're able to stand tall, here in these last days, and have a silent mouth, be not quick to anger, be not quick to say anything, negative, to people, and just not necessarily turn the other cheek with something, because when something needs to be said, it needs to be said. But when you can show people that you're the bigger person, you're the bigger spirit per se, it's gonna go a long way, and it's gonna go a long way when the Most High judges you in the kingdom of heaven. He watches everything that we do. He hears everything that we say. So, and also remember, the power of the tongue is very powerful. The tongue can either put you out life or death. So we just gotta keep our head up in these last days. Have faith and follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Just to the best of our ability. Okay, so today, I know I ain't been on here in a while. I got a little series I'm actually doing on MK Ultra. I actually wrote this about a month ago, a month and a half ago. But I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really been writing or anything recently, or doing any research, because I'm not gonna lie. I'm going through personal things in my life, but we all are, and but I'm on the cusp of getting everything back together slowly but surely. Getting myself back together, getting the things that's around me together, so I can make sure my life is can go the best I can make it, to the best of my ability. Okay, so today I'm speaking on MK Ultra. This is gonna be MK Ultra series part one, and I know I got a lot of part twos that I need to work on. I do know that, so I'm trust me, y'all. I'm gonna get to everything. I'm gonna get to everything. Just work with me, because I had personal things going on, but I'm getting them things together right now. So I could be more focused on my work, and me putting the things out that I do know, or that I do have did research on. You understand that? Okay, so I'm starting on MK Ultra. If you guys don't know, most high level celebrities, or high level sports athletes, etc., high level politicians, they all are under this psychosis called MK Ultra. Um, so I wrote Project MK Ultra is an experiment that was designed by the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, that basically comes out of the U.S. Full of not to go off topic, but basically started with Nazi scientists that came from Germany when Germany got destroyed at the end of World War II. Well, not destroyed, but basically when they lost their reigns in Europe. A lot of the Nazi scientists came over here. Okay, so I said Project MK Ultra is an experiment that was designed by the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, that is an illegal human experiment to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations, to weaken people and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. Okay, so I say, to go off topic for a bit, these high level athletes, i.e., Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, and Shaq, who actually grew up on the naval base, the Navy, and not to go off topic, but the Navy, Army, uh, Marines. You could say that the people that sign up for the Navy, sign up for the Army, sign up for Marines, sign up for the Air Force, any branch of the government, you could say they go through a lighter um, you could say they go through a lighter MK Ultra experiment because they have to be programmed a certain way. That's why they have to go through training. That's why Navy or the Army or the Marines, that's why they have to go through torture when they go through training, because their mind, their brain has to be programmed a certain way for certain missions to be executed, or for them to think a certain way while they're in their selective service, etc. Okay, so I say Shaquille O'Neal, who actually grew up on the naval base, which many MK assets have military backgrounds, most likely coming from their parents, and most of them as their fathers. Most of these MK athletes or these MK uh, celebrities, most of their parents, mainly their fathers, were in some type of military. Like I said, either Navy or Army or Marines or etc. Or they just may know a MK handler that was like a close friend to them. Maybe they went to a certain college, and certain colleges have certain professors that are MK handlers, maybe like Harvard or Princeton. If I'm not mistaken, I actually spoke on it in this passage. Okay, so I'm speaking on Shaq. So I say Shaquille O'Neal, who actually grew up on a naval base, which many MK assets have military backgrounds, most likely coming from their parents, who were their first MK handlers. Basically having the triggers to their mind by showing them certain colors, or what is known as monarch butterfly. What is a monarch butterfly? What does a butterfly start off as? A butterfly start off as a caterpillar. So you could say before these subjects or these MK assets get put under under the programming, they start off as a caterpillar. They're just a caterpillar. They're just learning how to get in. How they're just learning life. Then as they get older in age, and some of these assets have started very young when they're programmed. So during the stage when they first start to be programmed, you could say then they're becoming a butterfly. They're it's like symbolism. They're letting their wings out. They're going to be able to fly because they can have because now they're becoming a different person. They have multiple alters that they can change to. Okay, so I say, which many MK assets have military backgrounds, most likely coming from their parents, who were their first MK handler, basically having the triggers to their mind by showing them certain colors, or what is known as a monarch butterfly. I say some MK assets, or most, have been molested as kids. Right, most of them have been molested as kids. because that's one of the first ways they can be psychologically broke down, so they can become masterful liars, or they can be very fragile mentally. Most MK assets, if all, are mentally fragile, i.e., LeBron James. Look how LeBron James is. You know, he has mental breakdowns every year, and that comes from the psychological programming that he probably had to go through as a child. And not only that, him having just the mother in the household, Gloria James. That's another reason why he doesn't really have full control over his emotions or over his self in general. You know, he when things doesn't go his way, he just has a breakdown, and that's a part of his MK programming, believe it or not. Okay, so I say some MK assets, or most, have been molested as kids, abused as kids, right? Because when you're abused, you're you're getting mentally broke down. You know, that's why some kids when they used to getting beat when as a child, that's why when they get older, they become so physical. They become so abusive, maybe towards their partner or maybe towards their kids that they have when they get older. Because when they mentally got abused when they was younger, it left a scar on them. Or think about this. Think about Michael Jackson, which was another monarch celebrity. Think about Michael Jackson. Think about how Joe beat it on him a lot. Joe beat it on Michael a lot. So think about how Michael started acting when he got older. He changed. He had an amusement park in his backyard. He had kids over. Because the things that Joe did to him when he was younger, it affected him psychologically. So you can honestly say, now I don't have proof of this, but you can honestly say that Joe Jackson was Michael's first MK handler, because he knew the triggers of Michael before he got passed on to the industry. So before Michael got passed on to the industry, Joe Jackson was his handler. Joe Jackson was the first person that broke Michael down psychologically. You understand that? Okay, so I say most have been molested as kids, abused as kids, because they need to be psychologically broke down, right? Just like how I explained. To have access to their brain or bring out certain alters in the asset, right? To bring out certain alters in the asset. So think about it. Michael probably had so many alters to in his mind. Of course, when he got older, he had the kid altar. He probably had a sex altar. He had his singing altar where he could sing the roof off a building. And he had so many more altars that we probably would never know. But only his handlers and his father knew how many altars they could have access to with Michael. Okay, so I say the project was named Monarch Programming because the victim goes through transformation, right? Like I said, the victim turns from a caterpillar. So basically you just figuring your way off in life, but you're transforming into a butterfly, where you can basically spread your wings and fly away. If y'all understand what I'm saying. You're let free, but you're not really let free. You're just going through um, more psychological torture. But you're able, or not you, your handler is able to access more parts of your brain or more alters to your brain. You understand that? Okay, so I say the project was named Monarch Programming because the victim goes through transformation that a monarch butterfly would, and also there is a butterfly shaped space in the middle of the brain close to the pineal gland. You understand the symbolism? You understand the imagery? That's where that's where the butterfly or the transformation comes from. Because because it's a butterfly shape that's next to the pineal gland in our brain. What is the pineal gland known for? You know, it's for opening your quote unquote third eye. All that is when you opening up your third eye, basically you're allowing more spirits to control your vessel. You understand that? So you know these people that's here, that put the open your third eye on a higher pedestal. You know, excuse me, y'all. They're just witches and warlocks, so they can have more spirits have control of their spirit, of their soul, of their vessel. You understand that? Okay, so I'm gonna reread what I said. Okay, so I say it was named monarch programming because the victim goes through transformation. That a monarch butterfly would, and also there is a butterfly shaped space in the middle of the brain close to the pineal gland. For example, the Sandy Hook tragedy that was an MK, a sleeper assassin. That was one of his alters. One of the kid that shot the school up in the Sandy Hook the Sandy Hook incident. He had an alter. Basically, he was a sleeper assassin. Basically, like how the Army or Navy or military, CIA, FBI, etc., they can program you to kill. You're called a sleeper assassin after that. You understand that? You can get that alter can get programmed in your brain through psychological torture, abuse, etc. Okay, so I say the Sandy Hook tragedy was example of a sleeper assassin, right? Like I just told y'all. That was under MK Ultra programming. One of the victims was as well specifically the victim Dylan Hakeley. Dylan Hakeley was a if you go back to the Sandy Hook story, the victim Dylan Hakeley was an MK asset. He was a ritual sacrifice for the energy that they were trying to bring out during the Sandy Hook story. The victim Dylan Hakeley, who if you do research on, they considered him a beautiful butterfly. Let me reread that. I said the Sandy Hook tragedy was an example of a sleeper assassin that was under MK Ultra programming, and one of the victims was as well specifically the victim Dylan Hakeley, who if you do research on, they considered him a beautiful butterfly. He was under the programming. He was just a ritual sacrifice for the energy that the powers that be were trying to bring out during the Sandy Hook ritual, whose life was cut short and whose Dylan Hakeley's life was cut short. And remember, there was a report. Oh yeah, it was reported that a theft from the Sandy Hook Memorial, that one of 26 wooden butterflies were missing. Listen to that. Listen to that, y'all. It was one out of 26 wooden butterflies were missing that Dylan were missing. And that one was Dylan. He was an MK asset that makes me believe that the whole Sandy Hook story was planned to lead society or the masses under a psychological spell. Exactly. They had 26 butterflies for the victims that died in the Sandy Hook story. One of the butterflies were taken away. That was Dylan. Dylan was an MK asset, believe it or not. Dylan Hakeley was an MK asset that was a ritual sacrifice for the Sandy Hook story, y'all. Okay, so I say the CIA, the CIA used numerous methods to introduce the subject or victim to mind manipulation or connect to various mental states such as convert administration of high doses of psychiatric or psychoactive drugs, especially LSD, lysergic acid. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I can't pronounce the last one. Also known as Lucy. Lucy, what is so Lucy is known as LSD. What is Lucy? Lucifer. Lucy is Lucifer. Satan, the devil, that entity. Okay, so let me reread that. The CIA used numerous methods to introduce the subject or victim to mind manipulation or connect to various mental states such as convert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD, also known as Lucy, which another name for Lucy is Lucifer, like I just stated, y'all. Also, the CIA used electroshocks that would send the subject to an alternative state of mind, just like the movie Jordan Peele made called Get Out. Right, with Chris. Chris was the MK Ultra victim in Get Out. When the white man was trying to um basically put his brain in Chris's body so he could be so he can have the attributes of a black man. You understand that? Okay, so I say also the CIA used electroshocks that would send the subject to an alternate state of mind, just like the movie Jordan Peele made called Get Out. That whole movie was based off the MK Ultra project. MK Ultra began in 1953 and it was halted in 1973. It was preceded by Project Artichoke and organized through the CIA's Office of Scientific Intelligence and conducted by the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. Right. Like I said, and I state again, most subjects or most victims that have went through MK Ultra, their parents or somebody that's close to the family have had or has a military background. You understand that? They have a military background. Because look, what did I just read? It was halted in 1973. It was preceded by Project Artichoke and organized through the CIA's Office of Scientific Intelligence and conducted by the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. That's why I wrote earlier, most MK assets parents have military backgrounds, right? Like I just stated. The programs engaged in illegal activities, including the use of U.S. and Canadian citizens as unwitting test subjects. So basically, they was using the U.S. and Canadian citizens unwillingly to perform these programs on the mind per se. You understand that? Including the use of including the use of U.S. and Canadian citizens as unwitting test subjects. These activities carried out under more than 80 institutions, including colleges, right? And that's going back to what I just said earlier. If they don't have a military background, they went to a certain college. Most of these colleges are in the know, especially these high colleges like Harvard, Princeton, these especially the Ivy League schools, they're very high, and the most of the professors or the leaders of those colleges are in the know about MK Ultra because they have test subjects, or they have subjects that are students there. The professors are handlers. You understand that? The leaders are handlers. The people that's in the offices are handlers. They know what to make. They know they have the triggers to the people's or the subject's minds that make them tick, that make them calm, that make them sad. You understand that? Okay, so I say these activities carried out more than 80 institutions, including college, universities, hospitals, right? So these high-end doctors, they're MK handlers. They understand. They know. They know what to say to these certain assets to make them tick. Prisons, exactly. So these wardens that's in these that own these prisons, they know when a certain MK asset is coming to their prison. So when a rich celebrity or a former athlete that's been under MK Ultra, what's the brother name that killed himself? That played the tight end for the Patriots, Aaron Hernandez. Just an example that's just coming off the top of my head. Whatever prison that Aaron Hernandez went to before he killed himself, or yeah, before he killed himself, I guarantee you the warden of that prison had the keys to Aaron Hernandez's mind. That's probably what made Aaron Hernandez kill himself inside that prison, which is also known as self-destruct programming. The warden most likely had the keys to his mind. Okay, so I say prisons and pharmaceutical companies and top officials of these institutions know these experiments were going on, but these experiments originally started in Nazi Germany, right? Like I stated at the beginning of this video, most of the when Nazi Germany fell, most of the officials came from Nazi Germany over here to the US. So our top scientists that's here right now, their grandsons or their granddaughters that's running right now, that's running everything right now, they're all handlers. They're all MK handlers. But these experiments, okay, so I'm gonna reread it. But these experiments originally started in Nazi Germany, which after they fled from Germany, like I just said, after they fled from Germany, after World War II, they came here to the United States. And those scientists are still around today. Their sons or grandsons, like I just said, etc., granddaughters, daughters, etc. MK Ultra was released to the public in 1975 by the Church Committee. So basically, they allowed, after they basically successfully completed a lot of projects on people's minds, they finally released it to the public in 1975 by the Church Committee and the Rockefeller Commission. The Rockefellers had something to do, which the Rockefellers have a lot to do with what goes up and down in the world. It's not everything, but it's a lot. The Rockefellers have a lot to do with the world in general. they are part of the 5%. I'll put it like that. The Rockefellers are. And the Rockefeller Commission, which the Rockefellers are a part of the 5%, like I just said, of the world wealthiest families, along with the Rothschild family. Before the MK Ultra documents were released in 1973, the CIA director Richard Helms ordered the MK Ultra files to be destroyed. Look, y'all, they were trying to destroy the MK Ultra documents because they didn't want it to be released to the public. This is how you know that most government things that's ran is secret. They don't want us to know anything that they do. And if we and honestly, that's this still really goes on today. If we know something that they doing that we don't supposed to do, we either gonna die, they either gonna kill us, or they're gonna or they're going to make our lives a living hell. You understand that? We're not going to get far in life because, you know, we know too much information, you know. But as I stated before, this is the information age. This is the information age. So, you know, we're allowed, us as people, period, should be allowed to know information. Going to way back to Christ, before Christ, going back to Adam and Eve, us as the people should know, we should be able to look up and know what we want to know. Because, I mean, we in the information age. We in the age of Aquarius. But that really don't got nothing to do with it, but we're in the information age, put it like that. Okay, so I say the CIA director Richard Helms ordered that all MK Ultra files be destroyed. But in 1975, the files were released, and in 1977, a bill was passed named a Freedom of Information Act. Exactly. That's why I said we're in the information age. So anything that the government do that's under our noses, they have to release that information after a certain point of time. They have to release the information because, I mean, they wrote it in their own law, you know. And anything and I feel like, you know, anything that operates in secrecy, it's gonna get out anyway. That's been going on since the beginning of times. The Most High is not going to allow things to go on in secrecy and not allow the people that want to know not know it. You understand that? Okay, so I say, but in 1975, the files were released, and in 1977, a bill was passed named a Freedom of Information Act. To digress a bit, in the scriptures, it states in Luke 12:2-3, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, either hid. Exactly, that's what I just said. Let me reread Luke 2-3. This is verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Exactly. So at the end of the day, you know, anything that operates in darkness, the people that want to know, the people shall be able to know it flat out. And that's law, that's scripture, that's law. Verse 3 says, therefore whatsoever ye have spoken into darkness shall be heard in the light. Anything that operates in darkness shall touch the light. And that goes with anything. That goes with life, period. You know, y'all. If you do anything in darkness that you know that's wrong, it's gonna come to light. It's gonna come to light. So that's why you should be out here doing everything that you can to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, so you don't have to operate in secrecy. Because, excuse me, y'all, because at the end of the day, it's going to come out regardless. And it's just that simple. Okay, so I'm about to reread verse 3. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken into darkness shall be heard in the light. And that which ye have spoken in the ear in the closet shall be proclaimed upon the harvest. Basically stating you can never hide in secrecy without light being brought upon it. The Most High operates in light. He'll never operate in darkness. One common gesture that MK assets do is cover their one eye on, and this the end, y'all. They cover their eye on to make an okay sign over one eye. That is known for the eye of Hathor. Hathor is the mother goddess. Most likely you will see women use the gesture as they were programmed to worship the mother goddess and her different archetypes. And it's not just, and that's the end, y'all, for me reading. And it's not just with the women, it's with the males too. The males that are under MK Ultra programming, they are really, they have a mother goddess archetype. Stephen Curry, for example, he worships his Aisha, his wife. He worships his daughter. I can't think of his daughter name. I don't know if y'all remember the episode where Stephen Curry was he had his younger daughter, like she drew out like a track for him, and he had to drive in the track to find his way to the light. She had on yellow in the commercial, which yellow or orange operates the knowledge. So basically Stephen Curry was getting the milk of knowledge from the mother goddess, which was in the archetype of his daughter. You understand that? If y'all understand what I'm saying? And he had to find the middle of the track, or he had to follow where the younger daughter was drawing, so he can find knowledge. I wish I can post the because I'm recording it, so I can't post the video. But and it's crazy because in the video, the younger daughter was while Stephen Curry was driving, she was like guiding him. Like she had the finger on the paper where she wrote on the track, like how the track is going to go, how he's going to drive on the track. And she was just had her finger on the paper while he was driving. So like she was guiding him to knowledge. If y'all understand what I'm saying, Stephen Curry is a Monarch program athlete. He went through whatever he went through as a child to, and but one of his handlers is Aisha Curry. His dad, Dale Curry, is one of his handlers. If y'all understand what I'm saying. But this is just part one of MK Ultra. I'm gonna make a part two, and I'm gonna expound more on how. And I think on part two, I'm gonna add more celebrities. Just so y'all can understand how really deep MK Ultra is, because it's deep, and a lot of people don't know that these celebrities or these athletes are under it. And these athletes can get shown certain colors. They can get shown certain patterns. You can make certain hand signals to them, and they mind actually go to a different altar. But I'll expound on that more on the MK Ultra part two video down below. All right, y'all. Now with that being said, this is the end. But y'all brothers and sisters, take care of yourselves here in these last days, and watch who y'all are around. Don't let nobody use y'all. Don't let nobody try to make a fool of y'all. If y'all have to be alone in these last days, I don't care if y'all don't if y'all have to get away from your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Be alone so the Most High can have control of y'all spirits. So y'all spirits won't be confused around these different haughty spirits that's around now. All right, now, y'all, with that being said, shalom and peace.